Ladies and gentlemen, tonight from Pechanga Resort and Casino, Bellator MMA presented by Miller Lite now moves to the heavyweight division, set for 3 5-minute rounds. We introduce the blue corner at 6'3", weighing in 259 pounds even. His professional record, 3 wins, 2 losses, fighting out of Whittier, California, presenting Joe Two Guns Hernandez. And across the cage, his adversary out of the red corner at 6'2", weighing in 239.7 pounds. His professional record undefeated at 3-0, fighting out of Tempe, Arizona. He hails from Portland, Oregon, introducing Tyrell Fortune. In charge of the action, referee Mark Smith. Mark,
all ready? Fights on.
Here we go. They touch gloves. Tonight's Fight Clock brought to you by Miller Lite. Great taste and only 96 calories. Red gloves for Tyrell Fortune, blue gloves for Joe Hernandez.
The real question here is, look at Joe Hernandez likes to throw his hands. He likes to stand and bang, and we're going to see if Tyrell likes what is going to be put in front of him. He's going to have to throw hands to get inside. So is he going to go straight to wrestling, or is he going to stand outside and bomb with Joe for a while?
Tyrell Fortune, all 3 of his pro fights have been inside the Bellator cage. 3-0, 2 knockout finishes, 1 decision victory. John, you actually were the referee for Tyrell Fortune's first Bellator fight.
I was, and he is super athletic. It's a matter of, you can look right now, he's relaxed in what he's doing. He's not pushing. He's not trying to get anything that's not there. Nice straight jab with a guy with a shorter reach that gets that inside. That's telling you that he's doing the right things with his feet to put him there.
I think your words were stud wrestler, 2-time junior college national champion, 2013 D2 national champion at Grand Canyon University, and that brings in the Arizona Combat Sports and the Tempe tie with Trevor Lawley and company.
Yeah, also a second-place finisher in the Olympic trials going for the Olympic team. The guy can wrestle.
Legit wrestling skills. As Hernandez goes southpaw for just a moment. Joe Hernandez has finished all 3 of his professional victories.
You can see Joe Hernandez is not too sure about what to do with Tyrell, because every time that he goes to throw that big looping punch, Tyrell's coming with a straight jab. There you saw Tyrell be the first guy, and Joe almost tried to counter it, didn't get anything, but it's a waiting game right now. Tyrell's waiting on Joe Hernandez to throw because he knows he likes to throw big looping shots, and he's waiting for those straight shots to throw down the middle.
Well, if you're going to be the first brothers to fight on the same Bellator card, and you're twins, you might as well take home 2 victories.
I'm sure after watching Tyree, beautiful straight jab again. You look at what it did. It upset Joe. Joe's now moving out of the way. It looks like, oh, it's just a punch, but man, when you see the guy reset, it's telling you, that stung.
Big shot, just missed. Watch for the uppercut, the right hand of Joe Hernandez. He threw it as a counter before, John. Let's just keep an eye on that right hand of big Joe Hernandez.
And Tyrell landed a very nice, kick to the midsection right there. Those take effect. They take the wind out of you.
So far, everything on the feet, no clinch. Both guys willing to strike.
That really impresses me about Tyrell, because, when I did him in his first fight, he started throwing, and then right away he got into the clinch, because that's what he is so used to. And you look at what he's doing. He's not pressing anything. He's not rushing into a clinch. He's standing out there like an MMA fighter. That shows progression.
Matt Hughes told me years ago, man, I told you I just want that knockout finish. I can see it. I want it. But when he sees the opening for the takedown, Matt said, you just can't resist it. It's like more turkey on Thanksgiving. Being a lifelong wrestler, you can't stop yourself.
There you go. That was a beautiful level change. But nice job by Joe Hernandez to get his hips back. Tyrell gets him against the cage, but that was a really good job. Great level change, but a good job by Joe Hernandez.
Great to see Matt Hughes improving daily, weekly, and one of the greatest of all time.
Matt Hughes is, he's everything that's special about this sport. He's a great human being. He was a great champion, and just the fact that he's getting himself back, you know what? All he's doing is just making everyone realize he's a fighter in every way.
Absolutely.
Stop. Corner. Go
Aaron shot there. Hernandez
right there.
Saying it's accidental.
Time.
Take a look at it, Big John.
Obviously, it didn't feel too good as you're watching Tyrell right now. He's holding on to the cage. This does not feel good.
But now in a situation like that, that man, Joe Hernandez, is going to be a little bit more cautious in throwing what would be a legitimate and legal strike. But the first time, all right, it was unintentional. The second time, you might lose a point, and Mark's going to put him back together and continue the fight. Yep, gives him a warning, John, just like you would.
Time in. Fight.
All right, we continue. And right away, he looks for the takedown. No surprise there.
Yeah, nice. Joe throws the big right hand over the top. Tyrell does what a wrestler does. Changes levels, drives into him, a driving double leg. Beautiful takedown.
Closed guard being utilized by Hernandez. Now it's open up against the cage.
This right here is where you're going to see the progression of what Tyrell's doing in training, because you watch as he is now on top. He's keeping his head over the top of Joe Hernandez. That's going to give Joe Hernandez a problem. It's going to allow him to hit Joe with a lot of power. And look, when you're a heavyweight and you're bringing those shots down, both punches and elbows, there is power behind it. It hurts. We got a beautiful choke going on here. Headed on choke. I don't know if he's going to be able to get it because he can't get to the side, but he's so strong, this might actually work.
15 seconds on the clock.
That little bit that you just saw there is space. That lets Joe get that blood flowing. It keeps him alive in this match.
Somebody's cut. And the final seconds tick down here in round one. And what a finish for Tyrell Fortune.
Big finish by Tyrell Fortune. He basically said, man, you know what? That low blow pissed me off, and I'm going to show you what I can do. And he just did it. Here you go. You look at that. Tyrell standing on the outside. Here's that big hand. Beautiful driving double leg takedown. Gets on top. You can see he starts doing good ground and pound. Sees that arm come across and then says, oh, I'll try to take that. And goes for the head and arm choke. But he cannot get himself off to the side, which is going to make that choke tighter.
Tyrell Fortune, Joe Hernandez. Much like his twin brother, no career submission victories yet for Tyrell Fortune. The 2 wins that he has earned by knockout, the 3rd he has earned by decision. And that was his last fight inside the Bellator cage.
But it's really saying something when he sees that arm and goes, oh, I'm going to go for this. That's saying a lot about, you know what, hey, I'm growing and I'm learning, and those submissions are going to be part of my game.
The evolution of a true mixed martial artist. And it's not a bad deal to be a wrestler at heart when you come and compete in the cage.
You know, everyone talks about what's the most important style to have, and I'll tell you what, man, when you can decide I want this fight to be standing or I want it to be on the ground, that helps a lot.
Dictate where the fight takes place. Looking to score with the jab.
He's been scoring cleanly with that jab. He should stick with it. He should continue to pop that thing out, but he's waiting for that counter.
Nice left hook. Hernandez went for it again that time. Fortune ducks under.
I can't even tell you what kind of punch Joe Hernandez just threw. That was a Conor McGregor versus Mayweather.
That was a punch that landed, though.
On top of the head.
And I will say a little bit, you know, more. I'll leave it alone. Hernandez tried to fake a little bit, the low kick or the low punch, and go high. Fortune got the arm up. Right now, Big John, Joe Hernandez is the one who wants to engage.
Well, you know, Joe he's standing the outside, but controlling the center of the cage. That's an important element, and that makes it to where, you know, he can do this. Don't let Tyrell start to back you up. Keep him pressed towards the cage, and then you decide when you want to explode into it.
And you've been inside the cage with Hernandez as well as a referee.
Yep. He's a big, strong guy. Look at, he hits hard when, there you go, he throws that big overhand right, and when he connects, he got a lot of power behind it.
2 minutes into round 2. Trevor Lawley in the corner of Tyrell Fortune. Old school Arizona combat sports.
What you're watching, if you're looking at Tyrell, he's starting to give some head movement, he's starting to give some feints. That's all important parts of fighting to set himself up to be successful. Good job. Pushes him against the fence, brings the knee. Don't worry about, I've always got to get him down if I get him against the fence. Just make him pay. Make him start to worry about what is he going to do next.
can wear down your opponent mentally the same way you can wear them down physically.
Oh man, the mental games that are going on inside right now, it is a war, and you're trying to figure out what is this guy doing? Why does he keep stepping that way? I know he's setting a trap for me. What trap is it? That's all part of the fight game.
Left hand again from Hernandez. Fortune had the takedown after the break from the unintentional hit.
And when you're seeing this, what we're talking about progression, right now you're watching Tyrell, and every time Joe Hernandez is throwing something, he is backing off instead of countering. You have got to give that guy something to pay him back for what he's trying to do to you.
He did throw the knee.
That time two.
He did. Yep. That time they both were delivered to the midsection.
You know, when you get two guys and they're heavyweights and now they're starting to sweat a lot, this is not an easy position to sit there and to just do a takedown from. Guys get slippery. You watch Tyrell, he's got the underhook, but he's not trying for a takedown right now. He's just trying to kind of gain some air, think about what he's doing. There's that driving double leg. Beautifully done.
Second takedown by Fortune, and he ducked under the punch of Hernandez, so he timed it perfectly.
Yep, that's what we're talking about as far as athleticism. Seeing that guy coming forward, the guy takes that move, drop levels, drive into him, and continue to drive. That's what made George St. Pierre so special, is he would drive guys all the way off to their feet. That's what you saw from Tyrell.
Josh Koscheck back in the day.
You know, Josh Koscheck was an unbelievable wrestler. But you go back to him against George St. Pierre, he'll never take me. He can't wrestle with me. He doesn't have to wrestle with you. It's MMA. He just has to get you off your feet.
Final seconds of round two. Fortune gonna finish this round on top, just like he did in the first round.
Time. Let him out. Let's go.
Well, there is grease in there. You know, there was grease put on his face, you know, before the fight started, after the first round, and he does have grease on him because it migrates, and that's going to happen. You can't let that affect your mind.
Which is exactly what Trevor Lawley said. Forget about him. Let's be a little bit more systematic with our striking and bring home the victory. Closes the distance on that spinning kick.
Good position, good ride right here by Tyrell. This is what you need to see. This is the difference between what he's doing compared to his brother. He is opening up with strikes from this position, good wrestling position, good hips. That's what you want to see out of a great wrestler like Tyrell.
Side control, just 30 seconds into round three. Short elbows can do a lot of damage, especially when you're as big as Tyrell Fortune.
Man, they hurt so bad. People have no idea what it's like when that bone-to-bone happens and it's the bone of your skull with his elbow. It sucks.
And there's nowhere the head can go because it's on the canvas.
Yep.
So you take the full blunt of the blow.
When you're talking about a position for a wrestler, right now, being free of Joe Hernandez's legs, being in side control, this is a huge position for Tyrell Fortune. This is a position Joe Hernandez needs to now, I need to get out. I'm going to take a chance. You can get caught, but don't sit here and just be the punching bag. Get yourself out.
With the two late takedowns into round one, into round two, is it 2-0 Fortune?
Absolutely. In this fight right now, Tyrell Fortune is up on my card, 2 rounds to nothing, 10-9 in both rounds. So Joe Hernandez, he's got to do something to get him out of this position.
3:30 on the clock. Don't forget, top of the hour, live on Paramount Network. 4 great fights. Our main event, Lorenz Larkin and the Menifee Maniac, Fernando Gonzalez.
We got full mount by Tyrell Fortune here. Look at this. This is a dominant position. When you have a wrestler in this position, big elbow. That's what you want to see from him. Posture up and start to throw. Make that opponent move their arms in positions that you can either set up the submission if you want or continue on with that great posture ground and pound.
Also top of the hour, Steve Cazzola, newcomer Jake Smith, Kendall Grove, his buddy AJ Matthews. They will fight. And Syed Awad, JJ Ambrose, and of course I just mentioned our main event, all live and free, top of the hour on Paramount Network. Able to posture up here. Just over 2 minutes remaining in the fight.
Back of the head.
Yeah, if Joe Hernandez is going to keep his hands out there, he should take those hands, put them to the hips, start to move his hips, and drive that position so he can get at least back to a half guard. You cannot let a heavyweight sit on top of you and mount and throw bombs. You're going to end up getting knocked out.
A couple big strikes here. Now the left hand looking to finish this fight right here, right now.
You saw those big shots, hit him, open him up, make him have to turn. He cannot be that guy that's a punching bag underneath. You know this is a bad position. You know you need to get yourself out.
Mark Smith right on top of the action. Some heavy punches just landed by Fortune. Somehow, some way though, Hernandez is up.
Took some hard shots. You know, he's setting up, looking like, hey, I'm ready to throw. But he's glad that Tyrell's not coming right after him. He wants to get himself back to a position where he's seeing not just two fighters, he's got one.
Pushes forward with a long looping right. Knee to the body.
See, and in this, you're looking, you know, Joe Hernandez is the bigger guy, but it's the position that you're seeing Tyrell get. That underhook is allowing him to control that position and drive him where he wants in the fence.
Under a minute.
Single leg to a double leg. Needs to get off of his knees. He does. Boom. Brings him down. That is beautiful technical wrestling. That's the way it's done.
Looking to wrap it up right here, right now. Passes right to the mount. You see the clock. 30 seconds remains.
And you can hear his coach and Trevor Lally saying, you know, put him to the fence, but you don't want him to put his feet to the fence. You want his head to the fence. He puts his feet to the fence. He has the ability to elevate his hips up, which can take you out of the position.
15 seconds. Final seconds of this fight.
This was an impressive performance by Tyrell Fortune. He is moving himself in the direction you want to go as a heavyweight fighter. This is good that he got rounds in.
The Bolt 93 proof rum that's edgy to the core.
Look at that jab, beautiful job. Jab, that's excellent. Drops levels, takedown, everything that he's doing. This is, look at that driving takedown, elevates him up. You can't ask for a guy to do anything better. Posturing up in mount, throwing bombs. Nobody can stay under somebody when they're doing that. You've got to move.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance, we'll go to your three judges at cage side. Luis Cobian, David Rathgeber, and Jackie Dinkin all scored exactly the same, 30-26. I'll have it for the winner by unanimous decision, still undefeated, Tyrell Fortune.
Congratulations, I'm with your winner, Tyrell Fortune. How much pressure did you feel stepping into this cage after your brother came away with a victory?
Actually, I felt really good. You know, I had a lot of teammates fight before me, Ed Roof, Joe Boy, so it was nothing different. I guess getting back in the cage after a year of being out from 2 surgeries was more of what I needed to overcome.
Well, your natural progression of what we're seeing you start to be a lot more relaxed. Are you feeling better inside this cage at this point?
I feel a lot better, but it's just rush, you know? You spend 10 months outside the cage, only 4 months of really training, getting back into it with my arm. So I feel a lot better mentally.
Congratulations to our winner, Tyrell Fortune, ladies and gentlemen.
Tyrell Fortune back in the cage, victorious, trying to get healthy, and wants to continue to evolve in his MMA career.